Coming up today on Verbatim, we take you behind the scenes of the Volante.
And bring you inside the Volante archives.
Plus, we take a look at the world of USD in 60 seconds.
Verbatim starts right now. Welcome to another episode of Verbatim. I'm Michael Geheren.
And I'm Braley Dodson. We're taking you behind the stories you find in the Volante. A new issue is on newsstands today and on volanteonline.com.
Braley is the online editor for the Volante. She is often covering the sustainability-related stories on campus, and we thought it'd be appropriate to discuss sustainability as Earth Day is approaching on April 22nd. So we have a few tips on how you can be more sustainable right here on campus. And Braley, you have the first one.
Now, an easy one you've probably heard it hundreds of times is recycling. It's so easy on a college campus. You don't really have to even leave your residence hall to recycle that paper that you may not be so proud of. And there's recycling bins all over the mucks for your plastic bottles and newspapers.
And that's part of the sustainability push at USD. You reported in the Volante that it was brought back after being taken away.
Yes, it was actually even taken away from Coyote Village at one point.
And the Sustainability Club brought it back, correct?
The Sustainability Club has been working on bringing things back.
Well, that's very exciting. One thing that you can do also in the residence halls, or even if you have an apartment off campus, is to conserve water. And we think about our fellow Americans in California who are experiencing a drought. It's a drought like never before seen in the country. And while South Dakota is experiencing a little bit of a drought, it's nothing in comparison to what California is experiencing. So take some time when you're going to take your next shower or you're using water for whatever reason, and just think, cut down on it a little bit. Just saving a little bit of water can really help in the long run.
And another great tip is, I know it's springtime and we want to open our windows, but when you open your window to let a breeze in, be sure to turn off your thermostat, or else you might be heating up your apartment as you're trying to cool it down and wasting energy. Yeah,
it's important to be efficient. That's part of the ways to be more sustainable. So those are some ideas for you to be more sustainable as we head into Earth Week. Part of Verbatim's mission is to take you behind the scenes of the Volante. This week, we're taking you inside the newsroom. Many Volante staffers are asked how we assign stories or how the paper comes together. Today, we're going to show you an average week at the Volante. Our cycle for the paper begins on Monday evenings. The senior staff of the Volante pitches story ideas from a variety of experiences throughout the week. Ideas can range from events on campus or an investigation we can pursue. The section editors narrow down the pitched stories to the best stories for our readers. On our Wednesday all-staff meeting, the Volante reporters are assigned stories and try to figure out how they can present the story in the best way. Throughout the week, our reporters start interviews. These range from talks with President Abbott to a random student sitting in the muck. It's important the reporter gets multiple sources to make a fully accurate story. Then, the reporter writes the story, including the interviewing, research, and observation. Our staff is also shooting photos and videos to complement these stories. Afterward, the editors work with the reporters to improve the story to bring better clarity to our readers. The big night is Tuesday night. It's also known as print night. It is often our latest night in the newsroom, full of stress and coffee. We're covering last-minute stories, laying out pages, editing again, and then sending those pages to the printer. The paper must be sent to the printer by midnight. The Volante is printed overnight at the Argus Leader in Sioux Falls, then arrives at USD in the late morning on Wednesday. With an inside look at the Volante, I'm Michael Geheren.
Coming up after the break, we take you inside the Volante archives.
We'll be back in just 15 seconds.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Selling beer on campus, closing the law school, and women editing the Volante? These are all things from the Volante archives. I have the story. A lot has changed in the Volante's time at USD. Here's a page from 1961 where not only can you see an ad for cigarettes, but an advertisement for students to join the military and fly bombers. In 1941, the varsity had a nickname, along with a different atmosphere. A state senator in 1995 proposed shutting down the law school. Senator Lee Schoenbeck said the school wasn't fulfilling the need for, quote, Main Street lawyers. That same year, a member of the Board of Regents proposed selling alcohol at athletic events and in student unions to cut tuition costs for students. At the time, junior Tammy Rusher told the Volante, "At least half of the students' money goes to liquor stores. It might as well go back to the school and students." Rosie the Riveter touched the Volante as well. This 1943 article highlights women taking on roles at the Volante, the quarterly humor magazine Wet Hen, and the yearbook in response to the war-induced manpower shortage. This headline from 1919 isn't so unfamiliar these days. This has been a look inside the Volante Vault. I'm Braley Dodson.
Each week, the Volante covers the stories that affect the students at USD. We decided to look at the big stories of the week and show you the world of USD in just 60 seconds.
International student athletes discuss the transition from across oceans to life at USD.
A speaker from Chicago came to USD to discuss sexual assault in today's society. View an infographic with recent statistics about sexual assault at volanteonline.com.
USD is gearing up for Dakotathon next Saturday, April 18th.
I've been part of Dakotathon / Dance Marathon for 4 years, and it's been the best experience at USD by far.
Here's what's happening this week at USD.
Thursday and Friday is the Women and Gender Research Conference on the second floor of the MUC.
Alex Kanaveski, a painter, will be speaking at the Warm and Lee Center for the Fine Arts on Thursday at 2 in the afternoon.
Coming up tonight on Coyote News, with fraternities gaining national attention for reports of racism and sexual assault, find out how the Greek system at USD is pushing for a proactive versus reactive awareness.
Plus, since the completion of the MUC expansion, all food options on campus are in a centralized location. But what about the vacated Commons area North Complex? Coyote News finds out what the plans are for this space.
Tune in tonight, live at 5 and again at 6 on Cable Channel 21. Did you know that we're on every day?
Be sure to tune in daily for what's trending online, the day's weather, and a look at the events ahead.
Thanks for joining us this week on Verbatim.
Be sure to tweet us with the hashtag USD Verbatim.
We'll see you next week.